Welcome back to Ziki1 Plays. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Today, I'm just gonna give us a very brief conversation starter, something that I wanna make a bigger video on in the future, but I'm gonna base a lot of the video on your comments and your feedback, okay? So leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this topic. What I'm talking about today is whether or not Sword and Shield is going to have open world vibes to it. A lot of people are expecting it to be Breath of the Wild tier, but what does that mean? If you take a look at the map of the region, there's definitely what looks like a linear path through the region, and of course it's focusing on south to north. You can see where there's a train tunnel leading to the upper half, and from there it appears that the map really opens up, and there may or may not be a linear path. What I hope is whenever you cross that train track into the northern part, the map opens up and the rest of the map can be visited in any order that you want to. This would be completely unseen before in a Pokemon game. Now, the reason I'm hoping for this is because it opens the possibility of hitting the gyms in any order that you would like to. It opens the possibility of going to different routes or caves or surfing areas in any order that you want to. This is why this is important. For me, I could go to one of the late game caves and pick up a really strong Pokemon early in the game and use it in my team throughout my playthrough. Otherwise, I could also hit some of the harder gym battles earlier in the game to make them easier, or vice versa. I could save the hardest gym battles for later in the game and make them harder. So here are some questions I want to know about. If they do go with some sort of open world feel after the first tutorial part of the game, do you think we are looking at a Pokemon game that will scale the levels of the areas? Pokemon, like for instance, what I'm saying is if you go to, say, Route 15 first off, will those Pokemon be less leveled than they would be if you went to it last? I think gyms are an even better example. If you hit the Fire Gym third, would those levels be scaled down to where you're at in the game versus if you hit that Fire Gym, say, 7th or 8th? You know, this is something I'm really considering. You think Skyrim, open world, basically wherever you are in the game, the enemies in that cave or in that area are scaled to your level. So obviously it makes it where throughout the whole game, you're never gonna have just a cakewalk through a cave. Obviously, there are ways in Skyrim to still make the game easy, but the enemies are still scaled a little bit to your level. So in Pokemon, we've never seen anything like that. Even in Kanto, where the map is open and you can kind of roam around to your own whim and fancy. You don't have to necessarily follow a linear route. The Pokemon levels are already predetermined for the gyms and for the routes. Are we finally looking at a game that is going to adapt and fluctuate those Pokemon levels based on what route you take? I hope so. Wouldn't that be exciting? And then this opens up the world of possibilities for so many other things. Like if you went to a route that had, say, that Mincino on it that we saw from the trailer. If you chose to go to that route first, maybe Mincino shows up. But if you put off that route till later in the game and you've beaten a couple gyms and then you go to that route, what if instead of Mincino, there's Chincino or however you say that name, right? Wouldn't that be crazy if even like the Pokemon that appeared in the routes based on their evolutionary tree changed based on which route you chose to go to first? I know this is mind-boggling. It's kind of like swimming in my head. You can tell I'm excited about this possibility. What do you think? Is there a possibility that the Pokemon Company could do something like this? Is this just obscene, way out there, never gonna happen? Your thoughts, comments below, put them there, and we will talk about it in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey you! Yeah, you watching my channel made my day. Come back soon. Ziki1